Hey guys, welcome back to another episode of Year of the Dead. This week, well, this month, we're reviewing Return of the Living Dead Part 2. So, what are your initial thoughts?
It's a good movie. I don't think
it's good.
It doesn't hold like as good as the first one, but it's a good movie. I would say it's a solid. I don't know why it's Part 2 instead of 2.
Yeah, I don't know. It's Part 2.
It's not like they went to like Part 3 after that.
Yeah.
It's not a direct continuation of the last one.
No, it's really not.
So that's why it's like Part 2 is a really weird thing to do, because usually like Part 2 is
it's like the story it's like the continuation of the story, when really it's just another movie. It was actually some returning characters, but also not. And the story is just its own random thing. So there is a little bit of continuity between
the continuity is the government lost another like bottled zombie.
Yeah,
if you want to call it that.
The colonel from the one that like ordered the nuke.
Tactical nuke or whatever.
He comes back just for a brief time.
And there's like a point where he's like, "We lost another one." So it's really playing off of. I'm like, and it's funny because like I call it a bottled zombie. Like the military's transporting it in a car in a back of one of their trucks, and it just has one strap across all of them, and then of course it breaks and one falls off, and then some kids find it. But it's just funny. I'm like, that's the most government thing. Like, we got one strap.
Like this could literally destroy the entire world, but it's okay. Hey, Yummy. So as we said, continuity wise, it does have like a Tarman-like zombie, which looks different than the original. It's played by the same guy. I think the biggest disappointment is that Tarman, you see, like, he's like the first zombie you see.
Yeah, brains.
And then you never see him again.
Again, like, it's always like a Tarman, and then some kids find it, they like shimmy it open, it sprays them, and then, it goes in, there's a graveyard right there. Right there.
So they all come back.
So they all start coming back, and it's just very similar, because as we said, there's returning characters, but there's a lot of returning characters that aren't the same character.
Yeah.
Returning actors.
So the guys who played Frank and Freddy, which was Thom Matthews and I think James Cairns, the older guy, they come back as kind of bumbling idiots again.
And then the old guy has a crash out. See, they both get sick like right away.
They do.
You ever notice it's exactly the same as the last one? That but the old guy starts like completely crashing out. It's actually really
any little inconvenience that happens, it's just like the end of the world.
Like a leaf falls in front of him. He's just like, it's actually kind of funny. It's watching these back to back. It's funny. We did it, but I know what happened. So if you watch them back to back, it'd be really funny because I don't think we knew this when we went into it. Originally years and decade or more ago. Mm. That we didn't know there was returning like the people playing different characters.
No, that was completely
And I think when I first saw it, I'm like, did they all survive? I saw them die.
But no, they're dead. Different characters. I don't think that I enjoy them as much as the first movie, but that's just because in the first movie those characters were just like so iconic, and everything Frank and Freddy was doing was great. I wouldn't say it quite reaches that level, but it's still very funny. The one thing this movie does have, though, is even though the first one was a horror comedy, this one goes more into the slapsticky kind of goofy comedy. Because at one point in time, my favorite scene in the movie, they're electrocuting the zombies to kill them at the end. And of course, as the zombies are getting electrocuted, one just comes out doing like the Thriller dance dressed as Michael Jackson.
I don't actually think he does the Thriller dance.
They probably weren't allowed to.
I think his hands are like this. He's like...
But he's wearing like that iconic red jumpsuit. So...
Which is really funny.
Yeah, and it's funny, and I think it works, but I don't...
I would say this is the last one that's
scary,
more of a horror comedy, and they start going away from the horror comedy aspect of it.
The third one is a very, much more hardcore horror.
Outside of, Necropolis, I actually can't tell you what happened in any of the next ones. Necropolis, I don't know why. I watched it more than the others.
We've seen...
That's Sean's, White Whale movie that he saw.
I think we got into that before.
We'll bring it up again, I'm sure.
But 3 and 5 we haven't seen as much, so it'll be, when we get to it in the coming months, it will be definitely...
when Blockbuster closed and they were selling all their movies? Like the movie I got, Necropolis. Don't know why. I obsessed over it. at that point, and I'm like, I have to make sure I grab this. I don't know why.
But we loved Return of the Living Dead.
And I even their weaker ones aren't, horrible compared. Because trust me, if we ever extend this past this year, we could get into
some bad zombie
horrible zombie movies that are great in the way that they're bad. But like this is definitely, I think I don't remember if the third one had a little bit of comedic elements. I can't remember.
I don't not to this extent.
Yeah,
this really went to the.
This is a zombie movie. This is like a Shaun of the Dead zombie comedy. The third one could have a little comedic in it, but it's not a comedy.
Yeah.
And like,
but this one I would say is more comedy than horror at times. Yeah. It's
just funny.
They do
I will say the zombie prosthetics and the animatronics and what they used in this one, just like the first one, were good.
Yeah, they were good. The budget was slightly bigger, and I think some of that also stems from...
There's more sets, you could tell.
Instead of just the 3 sets of the first movie, this one, it's a whole town now.
Oh, there's a doctor in this. That,
just
halfway through...
I think his name's Dr. Mandel or something like that.
Like, pops into the group, and then he's just, like, hilarious.
So basically it's about this one kid. So the main character's a kid this time. They even have kids as zombies, which I think was cool. Because
you don't see that too much.
A lot of people try not to do that until The Walking Dead made it cool again.
That was like the best part of The Walking Dead. I remember we were all watching. We're like, oh!
But anyways, Wiz it there, like he teams up with his older sister and the cable repair guy that just comes along for the
Don't remember his name, but it's just like he'll say something. We're like, okay, cable repair guy.
Like, what bearing do you have on this story? But okay.
And then he gets like really protective. It's like, dude, you've known this like people for like 5 seconds. Like when she's like dealing with her younger brother and different stuff, he comes running up there. It's like, you're the cable repair guy.
Yeah, why are you taking a side into this conversation?
There's a lot of weird, which. Yeah, when you get in the movie, that's actually not super weird.
No, it's the least weird thing in the movie.
In like a movie aspect, yeah, the cable repair guy is going to be intimately involved in the movie.
That's what's happening.
But like this is just kind of like.
Well, anyways, and they team up with Freddie and Frank. I can't remember their names in this movie. But anyways, they all team up. They like running from house to house trying to find a place to go, and then they like bust into his garage and then knock on the inner door. And it's like a neighbor doctor that they never mentioned up until this point nor showed. And he's the funniest character in the movie. And he just goes along for the ride as well.
In his like really nice sports car.
Yeah, it's Cherry. And it's...
Cherry baby.
It is very comedic. It is... I think based off the first movie, it kind of lost some of its grittiness.
Yeah, I think it leaned into the comedy even more.
So it definitely is inferior, but I would still put this above some of Romero's movie, especially near the end.
Oh, I'd put this over not Day of the Dead, Survival and Diary.
Yeah, for sure. And then I can see it being in contention. With Land and maybe Day, but honestly...
watchability, it might be better than Day.
Yeah, because it is funny. Day drags.
Day drags, and it's just gritty and kind of just weird. Not like, but remember that we hold those higher up in the thing. So if it's contention, at least with Day in my end, I think it's still a good movie. And
the punk aesthetic from the first one is gone. There's kind of like a little bit of a rock aesthetic to it with the music they have playing. But still, I wouldn't consider it. I wouldn't consider that a big part of the movie. It's just there is a good amount of zombies, but there's a lot of times when they're like driving through town and like nothing's going on, and they're like talking about how spooky it is and nothing's happening, or there might be a couple zombies here and there. So it doesn't really feel like overwhelming. Like there was a scene in the first Return of the Living Dead where the cops like set up a like at the outskirts of town, like just like a roadblock, and then it's just like so many zombies come sprinting at them, and it's just absolute carnage. In this movie, you do find like 3 army guys that kind of have a roadblock at one point, but
then they just take off.
Yeah, and then there's another part where they're trying to cross a bridge, and there's like some army guys blocking it.
Oh yeah.
You never really get a good payoff. Like the zombies don't take over,
and they're like, "Yeah, we can't go this way."
Yeah, it had a happy ending too, with the zombies being defeated.
Yeah, you have to nuke
electricity, and then. Also, there's times when it kind of made it feel like a shot that had almost like... It almost took out the zombies at one point, even though most of the time it didn't, but some kind of just went down for the count and never came back up. So I feel like it didn't hold so true to the lore, because they also weren't fast, except for like 1 or 2 scenes where they had to sprint, but other times it was just shambling. So it's a good movie. It's a good sequel. It doesn't hold up to
The original.
It doesn't hold up to the original.
But it's a good movie.
But yeah, it's kind of unfair to hold up to it.
I do. Amber.
Emmy.
Jesus. I do think it probably goes downhill from here. I can't remember because I know we've watched Return a ton. This one at least twice, maybe a few more times than twice.
3's once, 5 once. Necropolis, maybe twice.
I think we watched Necropolis twice.
It's a white whale.
I think we just kind of like put it on one time to watch it.
It's so and these sequels in comparison to Romero's sequels won't be as good. This one held up pretty well, but the ones from here on out just weren't. They're not great.
But see, I don't remember much from them, so
yeah,
it's gonna be interesting.
It's gonna be excited. So
I remember like the name for the one, Rave for the Grave. It's like
Rave to the Grave.
You could have made a funny, thing off of that, and I don't think they did.
No,
I don't think it was like. I don't think it was as. I think there was a little bit of comedy in it.
Yeah,
but I don't think it was as comedic as
some
the name.
Some of the comedy I think also kind of comes from their like ineptitude in making it.
Yeah,
that it's not supposed to be as funny as it ends up being. This one was definitely meant to be a comedy.
Yeah, this was funny. And I will say this: they do mention that, like, the characters that came back that were the same actors but different characters, I guess I should say. In this, there's like a point where he's like, I feel like we've like been here before. Me, you, them, all the zombies. And it's kind of a funny, really meta before really meta was big in like the 90s.
This would have been 88. And it would have been funny if for more sequels they just kept on having these guys come back as different characters.
Sorry about the...
Yeah, sorry.
Cut with the... there's a dog, like...
right here.
He's probably going to move it again.
And there's another one.
There's one that's just jumping across. My dogs are stupid.
So the only other thing I wanted to go into was, what would you say was your favorite kill? Either a zombie killing someone or someone killing a zombie?
I'm trying to remember, because we're doing this like the day after, which is not as fresh. There was like a point where they're inside the house and they hit the zombie in like the face or whatever, and it really just gnarlies up his face.
Oh yeah, didn't they like even like punch the zombie in the face?
Yeah, I think that might have been
And there's like a green like pus coming out over it.
Because I think it was one of the graveyard zombies.
Yeah, so it looked a little silly, but also like it worked. Honestly, I don't think there was a good zombie killing someone that I enjoyed, because a lot, like what they do in this movie is they're always just going for the head, so they're trying to eat the brain. So like all the characters that die, they just die because zombies ate the brains.
That one guy like starts eating his girlfriend's brain and she starts getting into it. So
yeah, that was uncomfortable.
That was weird.
I would say my favorite at killing a zombie though would have been one of the times when they were in the hospital, which ended up not being as bad as an idea. Going to a hospital in zombie apocalypse as I thought.
It's like nobody.
And there was a point where like they used like pressurized air.
Oh, I forgot about that.
That was valve, and it like almost melted the zombies.
That was
just kind of like some tendons and muscles. But it's still not dead because he's one of these zombies. So that one was good. But yeah, zombies mainly just eat people's brains.
Yeah.
Yeah. Not much. It
wasn't like a one that like a standout.
No.
Like
but yeah, the effects overall were good though.
But the two returning, the young guy and the old guy, and this one they're like grave robbers. It's like that's why they're in the cemetery. It's like a weird they're going in there to steal stuff from.
They're going in there to steal heads.
Yeah, because people don't want ones that weren't buried apparently.
Yeah, it makes no sense.
He kept making that comment, but they're not doing any of them that are like interred in the ground. They're only doing the mausoleum, so those heads were never buried.
Yeah, I don't know what's going on. It was just a reason to have them in the graveyard doing random things.
So how did they get infected?
Remember when the gas went out? So when the kids accidentally let the gas out of the
and they were in the cemetery.
All of this gas is going over the cemetery, and they're in the mausoleum, and it goes in there. It's not like right in their face like in the first movie.
Yeah, I was wondering how but then it should have probably got a lot of other people.
Yeah, because they say it's swamp gas is what they think it is. But yeah, they do get like a small whiff of it. But then later on, before they fully turn or even know they're turning, the older guy literally is holding the severed head that's now reanimated and puts his finger in his mouth.
Oh yeah, he got bit.
So it's I don't know what that guy was gonna happen. But yeah, it must have been from the.
Yeah, I forgot about that part where he just kind of holding the head and just like this.
That might have been my favorite kill because I guess it does turn him.
Yeah.
Yeah, so silly, stupid at times, but like in a good way. So next month we're going to be reviewing Return of the Living Dead 3, which takes kind of a romantic viewpoment on the zombie
I think I do
apocalypse.
remember that. It was weird.
Yeah, but it goes more violent.
But it's not part 3. It's just 3.
Just 3.
There was no part. There was no 2.
And there was no part 3.
There's no part 3, and there's no.
There's a distinction
2.
there.
It's there's a distinction. Part means you kind of took a story and cut it in half, and then 2 means it's same. A sequel to the first one. There's a difference, and I could do a whole video on how this is wrong.
So comment below if you want to hear this video.
Oh gosh, please don't.
Send more paramedics.